CompTIA A Certification Exam Mobile Devices Review. Question 1. A caller raises their voice and demands an immediate fix that is outside the technician authority. Which choice provides the required capability? Option A. To escalate professionally. Option B. Avoid assigning blame. Option C. Verify identity before a password reset. Option D. Provide a follow-up update. The correct answer is option A. To escalate professionally. The described need is met by a practice that uses a calm tone, boundaries, and solution-focused communication with an upset customer. Professional escalation protects the interaction and keeps attention on achievable next actions. The conversation returns to a manageable tone and the issue follows the correct support path. Question 2. Which result would verify that phishing is functioning as required? Option A. The management report shows the update installed successfully on the targeted endpoints. Option B. The message is identified, reported, and the embedded site is confirmed to be fraudulent. Option C. The analysis shows the installed program performing hidden malicious actions unrelated to its advertised purpose. Option D. A network telemetry shows the malware scanning and infecting additional hosts automatically. The correct answer is option B. The message is identified, reported, and the embedded site is confirmed to be fraudulent. The intended role of phishing is that it uses deceptive electronic messages to trick recipients into revealing information or taking unsafe actions. It exploits trust and urgency rather than requiring direct technical compromise of the target system. Tailgating involves physical entry behind an authorized person rather than a deceptive email. Question 3. During a structured troubleshooting session, the technician compares the available choices. Why is update the network adapter driver an appropriate selection? Option A. It targets common thermal causes before components are replaced. Option B. A current vendor approved driver can restore proper communication between the operating system and device. Option C. It isolates local protocol operation from cabling, switching, and routing. Option D. A more central unobstructed position reduces attenuation and improves radio reach. The correct answer is option B. A current vendor approved driver can restore proper communication between the operating system and device. The important capability of update the network adapter driver is that it corrects compatibility or stability problems caused by faulty interface software. Replacing the router is not justified when only one recently upgraded computer is affected. The adapter remains connected after the updated driver is installed and the system is restarted. Stressed about your CompTIA exam? We can take CompTIA exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Which deployment model most directly provides cloud-style services on infrastructure dedicated to one organization? Option A. Infrastructure as a service. Option B. A virtual desktop infrastructure. Option C. Sandbox. Option D. Private cloud. The correct answer is option D. Private cloud. A suitable deployment model must be able to perform the stated function because it provides cloud-style services on infrastructure dedicated to one organization. It combines self-service and automation with organizationally dedicated resources. A public cloud shares provider infrastructure among multiple customers. Question 5. A small office has configured strong wireless encryption but does not need push-button or pin-based client setup. Which control best addresses this requirement? Option A. Encrypting file system. Option B. Password manager. Option C. Disable Y-5 protected setup. Option D. Cable lock. The correct answer is option C. Disable Y-5 protected setup. The scenario calls for a control that removes a convenience feature that can weaken router enrollment security. Turning off the feature reduces an unnecessary attack path related to simplified enrollment. New devices can no longer join through WPS and must use the approved authentication method. Question 6. During a structured troubleshooting session, the technician compares the available choices. Why is reinstall the printer driver an appropriate selection? Option A. It releases resources and allows the application to be restarted without rebooting the entire computer. Option B. A compatible driver restores correct communication and page-description handling. Option C. The earlier driver can restore compatibility without replacing the device. Option D. Restarting the specific service restores the dependency with less disruption than rebooting the computer. The correct answer is option B. A compatible driver restores correct communication and page-description handling. The important capability of reinstall the printer driver is that it replaces damaged or incompatible software that translates print jobs for a device. Replacing network cabling is not indicated when connectivity and other clients are normal. The workstation produces a normal test page after the approved driver is installed. Question 7. The support team is evaluating the most appropriate tool, control, or procedure. Which statement explains the value of router in this task? Option A. It supports long distances and is not affected by electrical noise in the same way as copper. Option B. It permits limited local -link communication while signaling that a DHCP lease was not obtained. Option C. It selects paths between networks and can apply services such as NAT and basic filtering. Option D. It enables network clients to use shared resources through standard file and print services. The correct answer is option C. It selects paths between networks and can apply services such as NAT and basic filtering. Router is relevant because it forwards packets between different IP networks and often serves as a local internet gateway. A layer 2 switch mainly forwards frames within a local broadcast domain. Local hosts reach remote networks through the configured interfaces and routes. Question 8. A driver installation caused instability and a suitable restore point exists from before the change. Which recovery feature is the best fit? Option A. Reset this PC. Option B. System restore. Option C. Startup repair. Option D. Time machine. The correct answer is option B. System restore. The problem is addressed by a recovery feature that returns protected system files and settings to an earlier restore point without normally removing personal documents. It can reverse system configuration changes while preserving user data. The computer starts normally with the earlier system configuration after restoration. Are you looking for CompTIA A exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access CompTIA A exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get CompTIA A exam answer key today. Question 9. Which procedure would be used because it isolates startup failures by disconnecting non-essential devices and expansion components? Option A. Correct the firmware boot order. Option B. Clear the print queue. Option C. Test with a minimal hardware configuration. Option D. Check for a duplicate IP address. The correct answer is option C. Test with a minimal hardware configuration. This procedure isolates startup failures by disconnecting non-essential devices and expansion components. Reducing the system to essential parts helps identify which added device or connection causes the failure. Replacing every component simultaneously prevents controlled isolation of the fault. Question 10. The requirement is for a component that converts utility power into regulated low-voltage outputs used by internal computer hardware. Which choice matches it? Option A. SATA SSD. Option B. CPU fan. Option C. DDR5 DIMM. Option D. Power supply unit. The correct answer is option D. Power supply unit. A suitable component must be able to perform the stated function because it converts utility power into regulated low-voltage outputs used by internal computer hardware. Its wattage, connectors, and output capacity must support the combined system demand. A surge protector filters transient input events but cannot compensate for an undersized internal supply. Question 11. A user wants to change display scaling and review current Windows Update status. Which utility should the technician select? Option A. Services console. Option B. Windows settings. Option C. Local group policy editor. Option D. Task manager. The correct answer is option B. Windows settings. The stated requirement depends on a utility that provides the modern interface for configuring accounts, devices, networking, privacy, updates, and system options. It organizes common modern configuration tasks in one supported interface. The new scaling value applies and the update page reports the current state. Question 12. A support task calls for a setting that maps selected inbound traffic on a public interface to a designated internal host and service. Which choice fits? Option A. DHCP reservation. Option B. Subnet mask. Option C. Default gateway. Option D. Port forwarding. The correct answer is option D. Port forwarding. The required setting is one that maps selected inbound traffic on a public interface to a designated internal host and service. It exposes only the configured service while leaving unrelated internal hosts unaddressable through that mapping. NAT for ordinary outbound sessions does not automatically create this inbound mapping. Question 13. After implementing biometric authentication, which observation most strongly confirms the intended operation? Option A. The device unlocks only after a registered biometric sample is recognized or an approved fallback is used. Option B is cellular, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth indicators show disabled until individually re-enabled or the mode is turned off. Option C. The computer continues running normally after the AC adapter is removed. Option D. The camera image becomes completely obscured while the shutter is closed. The correct answer is option A. The device unlocks only after a registered biometric sample is recognized or an approved fallback is used. Biometric authentication uses a measured physical characteristic such as a fingerprint or facial pattern to verify a user. It links access to a characteristic that is difficult to share casually. A swipe gesture provides navigation and does not prove the identity of the person holding the device. Question 14. Which observation validates the successful use of express empathy? Option A. The user becomes more cooperative after the technician acknowledges the urgency and concern. Option B. The user provides the sequence, symptoms, and recent changes without being restricted to one assumption. Option C. The user gives a clear answer that confirms or eliminates the proposed timeline. Option D. Only the application and data required for the support task are visible in the session. The correct answer is option A. The user becomes more cooperative after the technician acknowledges the urgency and concern. The intended role of express empathy is that it acknowledges the user impact without assigning blame or admitting unsupported fault. Recognizing the disruption helps to escalate the interaction while troubleshooting continues. Dismissing the impact may intensify frustration even if the technical steps are correct. Question 15. A support technician is reviewing several possible solutions. Which consideration most strongly supports using Bluetooth? Option A. It provides the voltage and amperage specified by the portable computer manufacturer. Option B. It prevents light from reaching the sensor without depending on software settings. Option C. It is optimized for nearby accessories and low-power device connections. Option D. It limits unattended access without shutting down or erasing the device. The correct answer is option C. It is optimized for nearby accessories and low-power device connections. Bluetooth supports short-range wireless communication between personal devices and peripherals. NFC is intended primarily for very close proximity exchanges rather than continuous audio streaming. The headphones appear as a paired audio device and play sound without a cable. Question 16. The proposed solution is being reviewed before implementation. Which property makes hostname suitable for the requirement? Option A. It organizes common modern configuration tasks in one supported interface. Option B. It centralizes logged events that can reveal service failures, driver errors, and system conditions. Option C. It remains a central entry point for many legacy configuration tools. Option D. It returns the system host identifier with minimal output. The correct answer is option D. It returns the system host identifier with minimal output. The important capability of hostname is that it displays the local computer name. NSLOOKUP queries name servers and is not the simplest way to display only the local host name. The displayed name matches the device record and network registration. Question 17. The technician must justify the selected approach using the stated requirement. Which consideration distinguishes encrypting file system from the alternatives? Option A. It applies file-level encryption tied to authorized account credentials and certificates. Option B. It provides full-volume protection that can integrate with hardware-backed key storage. Option C. It reduces accidental damage and limits what a compromised account can access. Option D. It supports centralized access decisions using a supplicant, authenticator, and authentication server. The correct answer is option A. It applies file-level encryption tied to authorized account credentials and certificates. Encrypting file system is relevant because it encrypts selected files and folders for a Windows user account on supported volumes. A hidden attribute only changes normal visibility and does not encrypt file content. Unauthorized local users cannot read the protected files even though other unencrypted data remains accessible. Question 18. A workstation takes several minutes to become usable because many non-essential applications launch at sign-in. Which procedure best addresses this requirement? Option A. To disable unnecessary startup items. Option B. Free disk space. Option C, clear the print spooler queue. Option D, you create a new user profile. The correct answer is option A, disable unnecessary startup items. The scenario calls for a procedure that reduces boot time and background resource consumption. It prevents selected programs from consuming memory and processor time before they are needed. Sign minus in completes faster and the disabled applications remain available for manual launch. Stressed about your CompTIA A exam? We can take CompTIA A exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A technician needs a control that provides a unique organizational identifier for managed equipment. Which option should be selected? Option A, a configuration baseline. Option B, anti-static mat. Option C, asset tag. Option D, anti-static wrist strap. The correct answer is option C, asset tag. The required control is one that provides a unique organizational identifier for managed equipment. It links the device to lifecycle and ownership information without relying only on model or serial appearance. A desktop wallpaper label can be changed and is not a reliable inventory control. Question 20. After using virtual desktop infrastructure, which result should the technician expect if the solution worked? Option A, employees sign in and use the application while updates are handled by the provider. Option B, the responsibility matrix assigns each task to the appropriate party for the selected service model. Option C, multiple isolated application environments run while using the same host kernel. Option D, users receive their assigned desktop session from the data center after authentication. The correct answer is option D. Users receive their assigned desktop session from the data center after authentication. Virtual desktop infrastructure hosts user desktop environments centrally and delivers them to endpoint clients. It centralizes desktop images, management, and data while endpoints display remote sessions. A local thick- client installation processes the full desktop workload on each endpoint. Question 21. Which component stores data magnetically on rotating platters? Option A, laser printer imaging drum. Option B, a graphics processing unit. Option C, hard disk drive. Option D, a trusted platform module. The correct answer is option C, hard disk drive. This component stores data magnetically on rotating platters. It generally provides more capacity per unit cost than solid-state storage. A small flash drive is portable but is not the normal choice for continuous high-capacity internal storage. Question 22. A technician is installing standard copper runs for gigabit desktop connections in an office. Which medium is the best fit? Option A, a router. Option B, Cat6 cable. Option C, Ethernet switch. Option D, WPA3. The correct answer is option B, Cat6 cable. The problem is addressed by a medium that supports high-speed Ethernet over balanced twisted-pair copper with improved crosstalk performance. It offers common RJ-45 connectivity and better performance characteristics than older lower-category cable. The completed channel passes certification for the intended Ethernet speed. Question 23. A support technician is reviewing several possible solutions. Which consideration most strongly supports using DisplayPort? Option A. It is designed for computer display applications and can carry several display streams on supported hardware. Option B. It replaces many legacy BIOS limitations and supports modern partitioning and security features. Option C. It bridges short power failures and can signal an orderly shutdown before its battery is depleted. Option D. Its core count, architecture, frequency, and cache influence overall processing performance. The correct answer is option A. It is designed for computer display applications and can carry several display streams on supported hardware. DisplayPort transmits digital video and audio and commonly supports high-resolution computer displays and daisy chaining. VGA carries analog video and does not provide the same digital multi-stream capability. The monitor receives the selected resolution and additional chain display appears when supported. Question 24. A support technician is reviewing several possible solutions. Which consideration most strongly supports using Reseat the memory modules? Option A. It replaces stale lease information without requiring permanent manual settings. Option B. It provides evidence about reallocated sectors, error counts, and other device health conditions. Option C. A more central unobstructed position reduces attenuation and improves radio reach. Option D. It corrects incomplete insertion or poor contact before replacement parts are considered. The correct answer is option D. It corrects incomplete insertion or poor contact before replacement parts are considered. Reseat the memory modules restores proper electrical contact when a system fails post after RAM was moved or installed. Changing the boot order does not repair a loose memory connection. The firmware completes its memory test and reports the expected capacity after the modules are secured. Question 25. A support technician is reviewing several possible solutions. Which consideration most strongly supports using chain of custody? Option A. It balances backup time and restore complexity by accumulating changes from the last full copy. Option B. It links the device to lifecycle and ownership information without relying only on model or serial appearance. Option C. It prevents ordinary recovery and follows policy for reuse, recycling, or destruction. Option D. It preserves traceability and supports confidence that the item was not altered or substituted. The correct answer is option D. It preserves traceability and supports confidence that the item was not altered or substituted. Chain of custody documents possession, transfer, handling, and integrity of evidence or controlled media. An informal handoff without records creates gaps in evidence accountability. Every transfer is signed, timed, and matched to the uniquely identified item.